Good afternoon. How are you doing? How is everyone? How is your day? I hope that, let me just confirm that I am live. Please do let me know if you can see me and if you can hear me. I'm trying to use Restream today. Um, I want to believe that we're live. Please let me know if you can see me and hear me on Facebook, on Instagram, and on TikTok. Let me know, because this is a new platform we are trying to use. Let me see if it's going to work so that we can go live on all the platforms at the same time. So do let me know if you can see me, if you can hear me on Facebook, on Instagram. I'm trying to, okay, I think I can see on Instagram. I think I can see. Please let me know if you can see me on Instagram. On Facebook, I'm still trying to see if I am live. I can't tell right now if I'm live on Facebook. So let me know if you're on Facebook and you can see me. Okay, so I am live. I can see myself on Facebook. Let me see. Please let me know. Let me know. I can't hear myself on Facebook. Please let me know if you can hear me. Can you hear me? Who is there? Let me know. We need to sort all this out and see. Please let me know if you can hear me on Facebook and on Instagram. Maybe I should change this. Let me remove this and see whether that improves it, because I can't hear myself on any of those platforms. So let me know if you can hear me. Okay. So let me know, please, if you can hear me. Let me know, let me know, let me know. Yeah, please do let me know. Okay. Who is on Facebook? Who is on Instagram? Who is anywhere? Let me know if you can hear me. I can't hear myself. So I'm wondering, if I can, I'm heard there, because I can't hear myself as I'm trying to. Okay, let me remove this and see. Okay. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Oh my goodness. I need to be sure that I'm being heard so that I don't. Okay, let me see if this audio. Okay, it's showing. Okay, output. Let me see if I can. I still can't hear myself really. Um, I still cannot hear myself. So I don't know if I'm being heard every other place. Please let me know if you can hear. All right. All right. So I can hear myself on Facebook now. Um, I think I can also. All right, I can hear myself on Instagram. So please do let me know as you join me. Welcome, welcome, welcome to Growth Habits with Ngozi. As always, I am your personal guide on the journey of growth. Um, like I said, we are trying a new platform today, Restream, to see if we can broadcast on several platforms at the same time, sort of having to use two or three different um, devices. I can use one device and I will be seen and heard on all the platforms. So as you join, please just send me a message so that I know that you are there. Send me a message so that I will know that you are there. All right, so today we are continuing our series on financial management and budgeting. We started this series 3 sessions ago, I believe. Yes, this is the third session in this series. So we've been talking about financial management because, as I said, I noticed that people have a lot of challenges with finances. You have a lot of challenges managing their funds, managing their finances. So I decided that the first month or so, we would just look at your finances, how to manage it, how to budget, so that we don't fall into the same traps that we fall into every time. Um, that is, we always run short of money. Uh, okay, so this is session 95 of growth habits. Can you, how does that even sound to me? It's amazing that this is session 95 of growth habits. 5 more sessions, I will hit the magic 100 number. So, yes, on session 93, which is when we started this discussion on financial management and financial planning and budgeting. In session 93, we talked about assessing your current financial situation. That's where are you now? Currently, where are you? Um, what are your assets? What are your liabilities? What is your net worth? Those were the things. Please let me know if it's loud. For some reason, when I put the mic, I couldn't hear myself on any of the platforms. But immediately I removed the mic, I was able to hear myself. So do let me know if you can hear me loud and clear on Facebook, loud and clear on Instagram, wherever you're joining me from, let me know because I can see that I'm live on Facebook. I can see that I'm live on Instagram. Okay, someone, please let me know if you can hear me loud and clear on Instagram. I can see that someone has joined on Instagram. Let me know if you can hear me loud and clear. Okay, so yeah, we started this series by talking about your current financial position. Where are you financially? What are your assets? What are your liabilities? And what have you? And then what is your net worth? And we tried to do a quick exercise where we were able to figure out how to get our net worth. And we said that our net worth is just the assets we have, the things we own less our liabilities, the things we owe. I didn't want to go too technical on the. I don't want to go too technical on the definitions of assets and liabilities. I decided to do what would be easier for us to understand. So I gave us a definition that would be easy for us to understand. Okay. While I'm still trying to get full details of who is here. Um, okay, all right. So please do let me know, as I said, do let me know that you can hear me, please. So that was our first session in this series, session 93. We talked about assessing your current financial position and oh wow. Uh, Knowing exactly where your money is going, spotting the leaks in your expenses, because many of us we have leaks in our expenses and we don't realize it. We have maybe it's in how we spend money on putting credit on our phones. Maybe it's how we spend money on data. Maybe it's even the snacks we buy, but many of us, we have leaks in our finances. We have leaks in our expenses. And knowing your current financial situation helps you plug those leaks. You can find the areas that leaks exist and plug them immediately. So that was what we did in session 93. In session 94, we now talked about setting realistic financial goals. We talked about smart goals, but we went ahead to really drill down and look at those goals we want to set, those financial goals we want to set. Let's make them realistic. We spent time talking about realistic goals, because many a times we set financial goals, but they're not really realistic. You say you want to save 1 million when you don't even have 10,000, for example. But we also, as we talked about being realistic with our goals, we said that they also have to be measurable. We have to be specific. You can't just say, I want to save money. That gets you nowhere. That gets you nothing really. At the end of the year, you can't even say whether you truly saved. And most times you would not have saved anything at the end of the year. So you have to ensure that your goals are clear. You have to ensure that your goals are measurable. Then you have to um, think about, not ensure, whether your goals are long term or short term or medium term, and then you fix. You don't set a long term goal to meet a short term financial need. You have to match them so that you don't either run short of money or have excess money and then start looking for what to do with the excess money. So you have to understand short term, medium term, long term goals. Those are the things we talked about. And we also, yeah, we ended by talking about having an emergency fund. Um, we advise to have like 6 months worth of expenses covered by our savings. If you have 3 months, is also good. But the idea is to have that emergency fund in case something happens. We're not planning for anything to happen. We are not praying for anything to happen, but things happen. So we should have an emergency fund. And you do this by you save. Um, Put in a savings plan. I told us that in my time, um, okay, just trying to check something. I told us that my time, once I received my salary, the amount that I'm saving, it was automatic. I put, a direct instruction on my bank account. Once my salary comes in, a certain amount should be moved to a savings account. And I ensured that that savings account, I didn't have an ATM card on it, is not on my bank app, so that I will not be tempted to take the money. I would definitely ensure that that money is there. If I have to take it, then I have to go to the bank. And the fact that I have to go to the bank, for me personally, any other person, look at what works for you. The fact that I had to go to the bank would make me say I would not go and take that money unless it was absolutely essential. So you need to look at what works for you and then apply it to make sure you have an emergency fund. So today we are going to be looking at creating and sticking to a budget. I know this is hard for many of us because we're like budgets. Somehow we think that budgeting means that we are restricting ourselves. We think that budgeting means that we're limiting ourselves, we're taking away our sense of control. But it really isn't. Budgeting does not restrict you truly. If it is done well, it does not restrict you. So it actually gives you freedom. Truly, it actually does give you freedom. Budgeting, being able to budget and keep to that budget, truly does give us freedom. But most times we don't think um, that way. We are so fixated on the fact that a budget restricts what we can do. But what it does is makes us stay within the resources we have at hand, and helps us control how we spend and what have you. We don't want to be spending money that we do not have. Yes, so that is what we are going to look at today. So, what is a budget really? A budget is just basically a plan, and this plan outlines your incomes, that the monies that are coming into you. It outlines your expenses, what you're spending this money on, and it also helps put in place savings to help control how you spend. That is basically what a budget is. We know that one of the easiest or simplest ways to define a budget, or to visualize a budget, is a list we use to go to the market. Your shopping list, when you want to go to the market and you prepare your shopping list, that your shopping list is actually a mini budget, because you know by the time you're preparing the shopping list, you know how much you have. That is your income. And then based on that income you have, you itemize what you're going to spend. Those things you write on your list. So that is one of the simplest budgets and one of the easiest budgets that we can relate to, because just about everyone has gone to the market with a list. Just about everyone. I don't know who has not gone to the market with a list. And yes, sometimes we do not keep to um, what we wrote in our list, but this is part of what we need to understand, that we do have to. Okay, thank you for confirming that you can hear me loud and clear on Instagram. All right, so thank you. I just saw the comments now. Okay, for some reason I'm not seeing the comments on the Restream platform. Maybe I didn't do the setting right. Okay, we'll work out all those bugs in time. Okay, so I was saying that the list is one of the easiest and most simplest, let me say, not most, the simplest expression of a budget, because you know how much you have, how much you want to spend, you then itemize what you're going to spend it on. Now, many of us have an issue even with that, that we make a list and we get to the market and we spend anyhow. That should not be so, really. That should not be so. We should ensure that when we make that list, which, like I said, is the simplest budget we can do, we stick to it. Now, in budgeting generally for our finances, for our income, for the monies that we have, there's something that is called zero-based budgeting. And that is where every kobo, every cent, every what other denomination of money is there, is assigned to a specific purpose. I also gave us an example when I was working, when before everybody went online and all that. When we used to receive our salaries cash, I would have envelopes. I had always a pack of envelopes with me. Always had a pack of envelopes, and in that pack of envelopes, I would write, once they pay me my salary, I would bring out the envelopes. I would have the envelope for fuel for my car. I would have the envelope for saving. I will have the envelope for putting credit on my phone and such things, offering, what have you, whatever it is that I had planned to spend money on that month, all of it would be there. And once it is there, then that is what I'm going to spend that month on those items. Once the envelope is empty, let's assume the envelope for fuel is empty. For some reason, I spent more than I expected on fuel. Yeah. For the rest of the month, I will manage my fuel. Though. I might maybe fuel is not a good example because I still have to go to work. But let's use the example of credit on my phone, because this was something that was an issue for me for a long time. Let me use that example. Because initially, the place I was working, my office paid for my phone. They put me on face postpaid, they call it. So every month, a certain amount is paid into my salary, paid to MTN of my salary. Every month, a certain amount is paid to MTN. And that, you know, my own was just to be making calls. So when I left that company and went to another company that did not have that same kind of arrangement with MTN, but what they did was to add the allowance for credit to my salary. Now, because I was used to, I'm adjusted to, just calling. My mind initially did not calculate that I need to begin to be careful how I'm spending credit money. So I would just be calling. When it finishes, I load again. When it's done, I load. And I kept spending so much money on credit for my phone until the day I sat down and listed out how much money I was spending on things. And I realized that I was spending too much on my phone, both credit and data. And I had to put an end to that. But if I did not um, budget, first of all, for it, I wouldn't have even known. One. Then, two, I wouldn't have been able to control it. So it's essential that every cent, every kobo, every naira that we earn and that we want to spend should be assigned to a specific purpose. Don't just let money be hanging around with you. No, do not just let money be hanging around at all. Ensure that the money is assigned to something, is assigned to something, please. It's very important. It's very important because it's so easy to just keep spending. So easy. I'm speaking from experience. I'm an accountant, too, but I can spend money. So I have to help myself by having a budget. Now, in preparing your budget, there's a formula that, it works for a lot of people. It might work for you. It's not cast in stone, but it helps. And that formula is that you spend 50% of what you make on your needs. These are needs, not wants. Needs. You have to eat. You have to pay your rent. Um, Maybe you have to transport yourself to the office. Needs, not wants, not the things that if you don't have, nothing will really happen, but the things that you need to survive. I gave the example of your rent, food, even clothing stuff can be a want. Clothing can be a want. It depends. Okay, so 50% of whatever money you make, let it be for your needs. In doing this, please, you have to actually sit down and ensure that the things you're putting in this 50% actually needs and not just wants. Needs. Without this, there will be a problem. If I don't spend this money, something will happen. I don't know if you get me. So 50% of whatever money should be spent on your needs. 30% spent on your wants. Guys, now you want to go out and hang out with friends. You want a special kind of clothing, not the basic clothing you will wear. Um, you want to go, treat yourself to one thing or the other. Needs. These needs are not life threatening, in quote. They are not things that if you don't have, anything will happen. They're just things that make life more enjoyable. The extras, the needs. 30% of all the money you make can be assigned and budgeted to meet all your needs. All your needs. That means that your need will now not be Rolex watch. If your salary is like 20,000 or 100,000 naira or something, your salary in a month is 250,000 a month, and one of your needs is Rolex watch. That cannot work. So you do need to sit down. You know, the important thing with budgeting is for you to make it for you. Sit down and budget for you. It doesn't matter that another person, their 30% budget of wants is able to buy them a Rolex watch. Their income can take it, but yours cannot. So stick within your income. So that is 70, 80% of all you have need. And then the rest, 20%, should be saved. This is the basic formula that just about everybody will give you. But like I said, and I always say, adjust to you, adjust to your own situation and circumstances. I never did 20% savings. I actually did not, simply because my situation could not carry 20% savings. I ensured I did at least 10% savings all the time. So at least 10% of all the money I made went into savings. And this was because my needs, these are needs now, were a bit higher, because I had a mother that had to be taken care of. There were some extra things that maybe another person would not consider a need, but for me, they were needs. They were needs. Okay, so what is a need for me might not be a need for you. Please, as much as possible, honestly, I always tell people your budget is your budget. It's not our budget. It's your budget. So work it out for you. Work it out for you, please. Work it out for you. So now, to be able to truly work out your budget, to know what are the needs, what are the wants, what are the things you're going to spend money on, is actually essential for you to sit down and itemize and track your expenses. Maybe for a period of like 1 week, 2 weeks, track what you're spending money on. That will help you identify what are your needs and what are your wants. So before you begin to go into doing a budget, sit down for a week, 2 weeks, and track your expenses. Because you know your income generally, unless maybe you're a business person and your income fluctuates, but you have an idea, you have a basic idea of your income. But your expenses, if you don't track your expenses, you will spend money that you don't have. So sit down for a week or so and track your expenses. How much are you spending? Just check it. How much are you spending on what? It's because I did this, I was able to find that I was spending so much on credit and data for my phone, and I was able to adjust. If I did not sit down and track my expenses, I wouldn't know how much I was spending. I would just keep spending the money. So sit down, track your expenses for like a week or 2 weeks, and then as we've tracked them, begin to categorize those expenses into the needs, the wants, whatever. Sit down, do this, categorize it. In doing this, you'll even see some things that are not wants, that are not needs, sorry, and you felt they were needs. But as you look at it, you see that it's not even a need really. It might not even be a want. It could just be an excess. It will also help you in seeing that, okay, yes, this is a need, but I don't have to spend so much on it. Going back to my phone example, the phone was a need because I needed it. I needed to have credit on my phone to work. I needed to have credit on my phone to actually, be effective with the work I was doing. I needed to be able to call people, but I didn't need to spend the kind of money I was spending. So doing that tracking of your expense for a month or two, a week or 2 weeks, and being able to categorize the expenses will help you find the places that there are leaks. These are the leaks I was talking about in week one of this series. Plug them. When you discover the leaks, plug them. Don't just discover the leaks and leave them. Once I saw what I was spending on credit and data, I plugged it by, I put a cap on, I am not spending more than this on data. I am not spending more than this on credit. Simple. And I was able to keep to it because I made the decision. Nobody made the decision for me. That's why I say that your budget has to be your budget. Don't let it be another person's budget you're trying to run. Let it be your budget. Something that you sat down and put together. Let it be your budget. So track your expenses, categorize them. The next thing, if you're someone that finds it difficult to maybe control how you spend, I think there are apps now that can even help you. They will help you check, how much you're spending and put a cap on it. I believe there are apps now. I will check. I didn't really look for whether such apps exist, but I know that there's one that I heard of while I was in the US. I forgot. Is it Rocket Money? That's the name. I think it's Rocket Money. And what it does is that it checks all the subscriptions that you have and shows them to you because sometimes there you subscribe to Netflix, you subscribe to Hulu, you subscribe, and you don't realize how many subscriptions you have running. And these subscriptions are just deducting from your salary or from your account at the end of each month or at the end of each quarter, however you set it up. They're just making these deductions. And before you know it, the salary you were paid is finished, and you're wondering, what did I do with it? Because you can't really see, it's not food you spent it on. So you begin to wonder, what did I even do with this money? But with an app like that Rocket Money, what it would do is that it would show you all the subscriptions you have running, and it can help you end them. So I know that such things exist. You can maybe I have to do a little more research to see if there are other apps that can help you in controlling how you spend money. But also, I gave us example for me. The savings account I had, no ATM card on it. It is not on my app. Now it's on my app now because it's no longer really functioning. But then it's not on my app. I don't have an ATM card. When they give it, because banks just give you the ATM card whether you want or not. Once they give me the ATM card for that particular account, I collect it, no problem. As I get home, I cut it to pieces. So I can't use it. See, I worked that out for myself because I know that if I have an ATM card on that account, I will spend that money. I will spend it. Something will come up. Some need, excuse me. My throat was dry. Some need will. Okay, sorry for a second there. My network went off. So some need will come up and take that money for sure. So I had to ensure that I didn't have access to the money. Maybe for you, you are able to say, this is the money I kept in this savings account and I will not touch it. That is you. This is why this budget has to be your budget. It has to be you that sits down and puts this budget in place, not another person. Not another person. It's you. Okay. So I'm just checking if there are any other comments, since for some reason I'm not seeing the comments from this app. So control your spending, control it, find the way to do it. The envelope also worked for me. Now it might not work today because we're not receiving our salaries cash, we're not receiving payments cash. Um, so using an envelope might not work, but it can still work if you want it to. You withdraw the money and put in the envelope. I mean, whatever works. But the thing is to find what works for you. I cannot overemphasize the fact that the budget is your budget. Find what works for you. Then now that salaries are paid directly, online or whatever. I still have standing instructions on some of my accounts. And once money comes into those accounts, that's true because that standing instruction, I did not remove it. That money gets moved to the savings account automatically. So you can do something like that. You can put a standing instruction on your account. Just write it, go to your bank, give to your account officer, and they will put it in place that maybe a so and so date every month, this amount should be taken from here and moved to another account. That way, you don't wind up spending money that you don't have. Okay, so that is how to control your spending. Okay. Um, I think I think I don't really have much to any other thing to add to this budgeting talk. The point really of budgeting is to stick with it. That is the most important thing about budgeting. It's not even the drafting the budget. Drafting the budget is easy enough to do. Like I said, track your expenses for 1 week and you will see where your money is going. You will see what you're spending money on within that period. 1 week, 2 weeks at most. You will see where your money is going. Then analyze that to needs, wants, whatever categories you want to place them in, and you will see where the gaps exist. You will see where the leaks exist. You can also do the same thing for your income, actually. You can actually analyze your income if you're not a salary earner and your money comes from different sources. You can sit down and check where your monies are coming from, and then you will know how to spend the monies. You can even also know when your monies are coming if you check the way money flow into your account, you will know the periods that you have money. That will help you in fixing when the money should go to. Let's assume you want to have a standing instruction like I had. You need to know when money is coming to your account. That's how you'll be able to know when to put the date for a standing instruction. So yeah, that is budgeting. Okay, it's like the network is fluctuating a bit today. I hope you can still hear me. I want to believe we are still live. I think so. Though the network is quite interesting today. Quite interesting. It keeps going off and on. Okay, I didn't even check. You see, let me check now. I was also supposed to go live on TikTok with this, but I don't know. I don't know if it worked. I don't think so. I don't think the live worked on TikTok. It only worked on Facebook and Instagram. It only worked on Facebook and Instagram today. So, all right, we will sort all this out later as we go on. But I think I like this platform so far. I'll have to figure out how the comments work because I can't see comments unless I go to Facebook or I go to Instagram, then I will see the comments. So we'll work it out. We'll work it out. Yes, let me just give us a few pieces of information. I think today, the other things I have there, I think I'm going to leave them there a little bit technical, and I don't think that's what we should be talking about on this live. I like to make things as simple as possible. But a few takeaways. Let me give us that before I go on to say what I wanted to say. One, budgeting helps you and helps you spend intentionally. Let me use that expression. It helps you spend money intentionally so that you don't just spend for the sake of spending. There is a quote I'm looking for. I think it's on my phone. Let me look for it. I believe it's on my phone. I hope so. So, okay. I can't find it. I really can't find it, but it's essential. Budgeting does not restrict. It actually does give you freedom to manage your finances well, to handle um, your finances well. That is what budgeting does for you. Okay, yes, it says budgeting isn't about limiting yourself, it's about making room for what matters most. Exactly, yeah. That encapsulates the spirit of budgeting. It's not about limiting yourself, but that is what keeps a lot of us from budgeting. We think it limits us. It is about making room for what matters most. Those things that are most important, you can now have the money to do them because you were able to control your spending in other areas. Okay, so also know that a budget is always flexible. A budget is not cast in stone. No, leave. I know I said if the money I have for credit finishes, is finished, but that one was because I saw that that was a large leak in my, expenses. It was a big area of spending, so I needed to be that strict on it. But a budget is not cast in stone; it is flexible. You can still make adjustments as you go. You can still, increase spending here, reduce here, or whatever. You are able to make adjustments. There is no budget that's cast in stone. There is no budget that's cast in stone. So ensure that you understand that while you're budgeting. Always review your budget, whether it's a personal budget, business budget, corporate budget. Review quarterly to ensure that there are not some things that have now become needs that you classified as wants before, and to ensure that if there's still any leaks, you can plug it up. All right. So I think I will end the discussion here for today. But I want to mention a couple of things to us. First of all, we're going to start a program. What do I call it? Yeah, I guess it's a program. I'll call it. Yeah, I think I'll call it a program. So it's going to be called Rise and Renew. It's a 21 days transformation program. 21 days to renew your mind, transform your life, and begin to walk in your purpose. We're going to start it on the 1st of March. Yes, we're going to start it on the 1st of March. Now, please, um, this is a biblical based program. So if you are not interested in biblical based teaching, don't bother joining the group. I will bring out the flyer probably tomorrow or latest on Thursday. Please don't bother joining the group because this is specifically a scripture based transformation program for 21 days. We are going to journey to transform our lives, to renew our minds. It's so essential that our minds are renewed. Each day you have the scripture focus that will be posted, then a question for you to reflect on, and a prayer or affirmation each day in the group that this will happen. And if you're someone that when you're in a group, you don't like to comment, you don't like to say anything, please, I beg, this is not the group for that. I will not be doing all the talking in this group. Once I post the scripture, the reflection question or the affirmation for the day, it's expected that we who are part of that group would comment, we would say our take on it as we meditated on the scripture for the day, on the reflection question. These are the things that we got. So please, once I release that flyer, should be tomorrow or next. I'm not yet sure right now. Please, if you're interested in going on this journey, join the group and we'll go on the journey of transformation together. Also, remember to follow us on all our social media handles. I think it's showing on the banner down. Follow me on all my social media handles, both personal and growth habits. On Facebook, Ngozi Onwucholoba, and Growth Habits with Ngozi. We have a Facebook page, we have a Facebook group. Join both. All the information will always be passed across those two groups, the group and the page. Um, on Instagram, Ngozi Ko, then Growth Habits with Ngozi. Follow, follow, follow everywhere. TikTok, Growth Habits with Ngozi. Like I was saying, I was also supposed to go live on TikTok today, but I don't think the connection worked for TikTok, but it worked for Facebook and Instagram. So, yes, follow me TikTok, Facebook, Instagram. Also, we have a YouTube page. Follow me on that page. Subscribe to that YouTube channel. Sorry, YouTube channel. Subscribe to that YouTube channel, Growth Habits with Ngozi. Subscribe, and you can see all our past videos, all our past growth habits sessions. These short videos I usually post, you see all of them on that YouTube channel, Growth Habits with Ngozi. Search for us, subscribe. Also, remember our mentorship is still, our mentorship program is still available. Um, okay, I think I probably, oh, okay. Um, I will have to post it in the comments afterwards. Our seller shop where you can pick any of the mentorship programs you want. You want one-on-one mentorship, then we have a basic package, we have a premium package. Whichever one you want, select on that seller page. Then, of course, we have our group mentorship. Our group mentorship was meant to start this February, but I didn't get people for the group mentorship. It appears people prefer the one-on-one mentorship, which is more work for me. Which is more work for me. But it is what it is. But if you are still interested in the group mentorship, you will see it there. There's a 3 month group session, 6 months, 1 year group mentorship. If you just want a 1 hour clarity session, just want a call to help you have clarity about your plans, about what you want to do. 1 hour, you can also book that from that seller page. 1 hour clarity session. We will talk, and by the end of that 1 hour, you would have clarity on what you want to do. If we need to schedule more sessions, we will. But the first 1 hour is 15,000 for that 1 hour clarity session. All right, so I think those are the things I want to pass across to us. I'm just trying to look at um, my program if there's any other thing. But I think those are the things that I want to pass across to us today. Today's session was quite short. So thank you for joining me today. Remember to make today and every day count. Every day. Ensure that you are growing. Ensure that you are valuable in whatever you are doing. Be valuable and grow. And I will see you next week. What are we talking about next week? Let me find it. Next week should be um, the last, if I am correct. It should be the last. Yes. Yes, next week will be the last session on our financial planning and budgeting, and it is planning for major expenses and financial growth. I think maybe we'll add a Q and A after that, after the next week's session of planning for major expenses and planning for your financial growth. We will do a Q and A session where you can come and ask any questions about budgeting, any questions about financial planning. Then after that, we move on to another topic altogether. So thank you for joining me this afternoon. Do let me know how the experience of this today's session was. Like I said, we're using a new platform where from one device I will broadcast to Facebook, broadcast to Instagram, and I thought also to TikTok, but I don't think the TikTok worked. So um, let me know what you think. Let me know if it was easy for you to access, because we had tried this before with another platform, and the issue was that nobody knew that I was live. It didn't show that I was live on Facebook. Okay, so please do let me know how this experience was. Thank you so much once again for joining me live. For those that will watch the replay, I want to believe the replays will, that's another thing I need to check. I want to believe that the replay will be on the Facebook for you to watch later on, um, possibly on Instagram. So thank you once again for joining me. And see you all next week, Tuesday, right here on Growth Habits with Ngozi. Have an awesome day. Bye.